So today, what you're looking at here is about 30 screens of uncompressed 4K video. The reason why that's an important workload in the media and entertainment market, most of those post-production companies are trying to improve their content development by going from 2K or smaller amount of data mastering to these big 4K files. This is about somewhere in the neighborhood of 500,000 files of data, all being accessed by client computers connecting to the Stellus Data Platform. It's running at about 30 gigabytes per second of read throughput, and that's all fitting in a small amount of about 6U of rack infrastructure. What makes the Stellus Data Platform able to do this is that we brought several key innovations to market, including basing our file system on a key value store technology, and then using key value over fabrics to connect the different nodes in our platform together to allow this data to be served up so quickly. We're also using an algorithm to place the data in the system and then retrieve the data in the system, so we're not using a map. And that allows us to get a tremendous amount of parallelism in the system, and also allows us to be able to scale and maintain the consistency of performance as we grow the system and grow the amount of data that we can store inside the system. This kind of workload is also simulating what we're seeing in other industries, not just the media and entertainment market. It's also in places like life sciences, where they're doing high-speed microscopy. One microscope can generate about 1.5 terabytes of new data per hour. And that's just one microscope. And many labs have multiple of these microscopes. So being able to capture that data, write that data down, and then make sure that data is then accessible to the scientists who are trying to analyze it and find insights into the samples that were viewed under the microscope is a key challenge that market's having. And then you're also seeing that they're generating a huge amount of interest in sequencing the genome. And what we're learning from the customers that we've connected with in that market is that the number of pipelines or runs, sequences they can do in a day is a key aspect to their ability to find a new therapy or find a cure for a disease. And many labs are today hovering around 50 or maybe even 100 sequences per day. But using the Stellus Data Platform, they're seeing the ability to get to 500 or even more sequences per day in the same data center infrastructure. Also, we have interest from smart cities, smart factories, and the industrial IoT complex. They're using many different sensors and many different sources of data, cameras, et cetera, to assemble the things that can make the city run more efficiently and safely, and then also make sure they can manufacture new devices and components with less defects on their manufacturing lines. Enterprises and many customers start to really invest in the infrastructure to do artificial intelligence and machine learning type applications and interactions with their data. They're starting to realize that the underlying storage system that they've relied on for many years is inadequate. It's just simply not going to be able to serve up the data as reliably and consistently or as quickly as the previous storage systems that they've had. Not only that, but a key aspect of the change in this type of workload from workloads in the past is that it's a highly parallel workload. With the Stellus Data Platform, we're combining those innovations of that key value store-based file system, the key value over fabrics technology, and the mapless algorithm that we use to place data in the system so that we can continue to scale that performance and make sure that all those parallel requests for data can be completed very quickly inside a system like ours. And then as the number of scientists or as the number of animators and artists or as the number of people managing larger cities have to interact with that data, we can continue to grow the performance of our system separate from the capacity of our system. So if you need more data space to store more data, we can expand that part of the Stellus Data Platform completely independently from the part of the platform that provides the performance to the end clients that are trying to run workloads on the system.